I'm Ling. My full name is Phan Nguyen Hai Ling. I'm one of the students at Lê Secondary School. Perhaps my love in reading had been aroused since I was young when my mom taught me the story, books and a basket of coal. The story tells that in a mountainous region there live a grandfather and a grandchild. Every morning, the grandfather wakes up early to read books. And as usual, the boy sees his grandfather read books again, so he tried to do it either. But then one day, the boy asked the grandfather, "Grandpa, I have tried to read all those books, but I still couldn't understand them. So, is there any point in reading books?" After I had heard the boy's questions, the old grandpa gave him a basket full of coal dust and told him to bring the water home. In spite of his trying a lot of time, the boy couldn't have any water. But when he looked at the basket of coal, he found that it wasn't a dirty basket anymore, but it was the clean one. What happened to you will happen to the basket when you read books. Maybe my dear, you won't remember anything or understand everything from books, but when you read, book will change your soul, like what's the water have cleaned the basket. So taking part in this Ambassador of Reading Culture 20 and 20 competitions, I want to create more details for the stories, books and a basket of coal with an expectations to give you all a new ability to the stories and make it more meaningful. Since then, the boy had a great love in readings. Book had let him know many things, and he had learned a lot of things from books. It had given him many interesting things and widened his knowledge. Over time, the little boy nowadays has become a successful businessman with the role of a managing director of a famous book distribution company. However, he still lives on a very simple lifestyle, and he used almost of his money to buy books for the charity activities. On the weekends, he distributes books to children in remote areas. Hundreds of households living here have been isolated from modern life outside. They earn their living by agriculture and fishing from the inherent natural resources. Because of the trouble of transportations, so the whole trade was limited with the outside, and the children weren't interested in going to school too far. So a lot of people were face to face with the illiteracy. No traffic, no electricity, no mobile wave, and no TV. All the signs of a modern life were being lacked, so their knowledge level were low. People don't know much about the outside world. When the charity gave presents, everyone was very happy and committed together to receive the gifts. But as the charity distributed books, no one received it because they didn't know how to read books. The manager and everyone in the staff shaking their hands and sighed because they were illiterate, they hadn't read books, that they have low intellectuals. Their life became foggy and poor. And that is the reason of the poverty, the managing thoughts. If there is no light of book, no light in knowledge, and so people will live their insights. So, how can they improve? Looking at the spectacular silence, the poetic nature, but the resident here had to suffer from the poverty. His heart cramps. He made up his mind to change their life and their destiny. Leaving the islet, he had a plan of building schools and libraries for the islet. He proposed the government to send teachers to the islet and gave hundreds of staff work as librarians and taught people to read books. The islet seems to be blown a new wind, the wind of intellectuality and wisdom. 10-year passed and life in here had been completely changing. People is enthusiastic in reading books after work. Book has widened their knowledge too. It has taught them how to get rich on their land. From many informations and knowledge that book had given, many households knew how to trade. Many stores are built side by side, and the young know how to open more attractive tourism service by learning from books, which attractive to many foreigners. Now the islet has become the borough's islet, become one of the most famous tourist area in its country, and resident Disney's has completely changed. They become rich men, rich women, who are good at business with elegance and hospitable personality. The islet is also considered of the books islet too, because there are a lot of libraries and you can read books in everywhere. Because of that, there are many bookcases from cafes to parks and hospitals. And the people in here have erected a monument which has a portrait statue of the managing director with a book beside him to impress him the regard, the gratefulness, and the managing director still flying in books on the journey of distribute books from everyone. And well, book has given light to everyone's knowledge and has been changing their destiny. I still remember a famous quote which is passed down through generations. Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. So on the way to success, book can be lacked for us. And this is the end of my story. Thanks for your listening. For me, book is an indispensable spiritual dish. Reading book is a joy. Being an endless pageant, can read whenever I have free times. Which day is too busy for me, I still spend 30 minutes reading books. If I'm chosen to be the ambassador of reading culture, I will try my best to inspire and spread the love of reading books to everyone, to all students. And from there, contributing to the development of reading culture, forming the reading habits in the communities. I would do it by the following methods. So firstly, I will create a club, Book Lovers Club. It's my own school, in the place where I live, and even on the online as well. There, I will connect everyone with the same habits and hobbies as reading books, to share good and useful books together recommend about books, meaning of having group discussions. We will make the common goals to build community bookshelves by raising donations and fundraising to buy books to develop a reading culture in your community, like an apartment building, or the cultural house, on the ward, or the village clubs, the neighborhood, or the block. In those holidays or summer vacation, we'll call upon the children to read books at the community bookstores instead of just burying their minds in reading in computers and phone and playing pointless game. The second thing that I have cherished since a long time, the desire is to raise funds to buy books and donating old and new books to buy some big bookcases for the provincial SOS student home village. I want to bring the reading culture to the one who is disadvantaged and incompetent. The third thing that I intend to do in the future is getting one broad bookcases for the blind, which must be chosen by me. I think, more than anyone, the blind is the one who needs to read most, because they lost the eye in their eyes, so they are able to see the light by the soul through the reading books. Book is a real teacher, a real friend to companion you in your spiritual life. The fourth thing that I think it must be done to spread the love from reading is to establish and develop the libraries even in remote, isolated villages, remote areas, or minorities, ethnic areas, with Miller's Institute propaganda to encourage people to read books to contribute providing the village's knowledge. The fifth thing, which has to be done right away, is to develop a reading habit, not just from a nursery school to high school or colleges, but family plays an important role too. Giving an example, our school, Living Secondary School, has charged many activities to enhance the important role of reading, such as putting reading lessons in the curriculum, building a large library with lots of book titles, rich genres. Schools should also build a reading corner in the schoolyard with green place shady, surrounded by benches, and can be sat down from 40 to 50 friends. This is looked like in a miniature bag. Reading is very interesting. Our school also organizes the introductions of new books in every first week of month, organize reading festivals and meeting presentations, discussion, and share good books. Each classroom has each bookcase which is donated has an exchange by classmates, putting them together and sharing good books. From 5 things that I want to recommend all of you the most, I hope that I will be the ambassador of reading culture to get a chance to visit many places, to share as well as connect to organizations and individuals to unanimously support me with mentally and physically. For me to reach to my dream, these plans, which are still cherished by me, will become reality to contribute to spread reading culture for a loving, friendly Vietnamese community. If I can do that, I think I have accomplished the mission of being a reading ambassador. Thanks for the judge. Thanks for everyone who paid attention to my speech. I hope you will all like it. Bye!